like I would probably say well over 60% of guys that I stay in touch with on the regular have been met online.
Mm-hmm.
At
I
least
remember, I remember seeing on Instagram, when you had your other original Instagram handle, and I mean that's many years ago. That's before probably even YouTube. And you were definitely doing it. Well, maybe it was just I vividly remember this video because you had like a nice shirt on and your sleeves were rolled up, and then you're driving the Fox and you're kind of like sliding it around. You were doing a second gear slide, at a turn or something like that. And it's like, all right, this guy's cool.
yeah,
So
my kind of
but
guy.
that's some time ago, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, that's all because, and then, one thing leads to another, and now here we are,
Well,
you know.
and the funny part with at least our little corner of social media land is for the most part, it's not the person, it's the car or whatever, right? We kind of hide behind the car, if you will. And going back to your point about like following each other for a long time, and it's actually, it's almost an amplified version of, like however many conversations you've had with folks over the years where it's like, hey, Tony, right? No, no, I don't know Tony. Yeah, like the 81 step side. Oh, yeah, totally. I know Tony, right? It's that on steroids is
Yeah.
what our little corner of social media land's like. And so, yeah, like maybe you've loved the guy's car for years, and then you finally meet the person and you put it all together and you're like, shit, well, maybe the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so to speak, because I loved your car and you're pretty cool too. So, hey, let's hang out.
The contacts list in my phone has looked like that for years though, right? Where, not for Tom, right? But, go through there and see, Tom, Blue Fox body, right? Or, Jim, 91, whatever, right? Like there's so many contacts in my phone that it's like, I don't know the guy's name. All I need to know, yeah, it's Tom, but oh, the guy with the blue car with the Mac, with the beadlock ponies. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's all. That's it. Like
Right.
my Instagram, which I got pressured into getting, I will say that because I've had no social media. I mean, I don't have my name on it. Like I just made it public the other day because I was like, all right, I guess I should, make this
All us
public. And
dickheads were tagging you and shit, and you're like,
yeah,
fuck, I got to do something here.
well, that's what was happening, right? And then I got Facebook really only because I needed to purchase the seats for the car.
Marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So to
totally.
get Marketplace, because I have, just tried to stay out of all of that just as much as I can. Because I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like I don't. Why does anybody want to see what I have or care? I just didn't understand it at first, right? I mean, obviously I was aware of what it was, but I was like, you see people posting pictures of the food they're about to eat and stuff. And if you do that, cool. I mean, do your thing. But I just always looked at that and go, why does anybody care? And then, of course, it's like you get people that you went to high school with 20 some years ago, and you're like, listen, I didn't really talk to you then.
They want to catch up now.
Yeah, I haven't talked to you in 25 years. Like, I hope you're doing well, right? No offense. Like, we weren't really friends then. Don't know why we need to be friends now. Like just not into it, I guess. So but no, for this it's been really cool. It's cool to see people that post and keep up on their builds and in the wintertime, right? When we all, especially where we live, right, you can't really get out and do that kind of stuff. Or, Tom and I aren't going to go meet and stand in the parking lot and have a steak and shake in January, uh,
Right.
because it's 0 out. Um, then that stuff kind of takes over, right? There's guys in Arizona, Florida, California, they're still doing their thing, right? And so that's cool.
Yeah.
Angel down in Florida. I'm so jealous of those guys. You know,
Oh yeah,
it'll
he
be like
blows up in the
February and they're
winter.
out yeah, February and they're out cruising their Fox bodies, you know.
Yeah. It's funny you say you're explaining your story that way, Rye, though, because I was the exact same way. Like I had to get pressured by work to get a LinkedIn page because I was
Still don't
just
have
like, really, hey, okay, Yeah, I did get pressured into that one and reluctantly signed up for it, but I'm like, there's a hard stop right after this. None of this other stuff. And funny enough, I mean, this movie's getting a little age behind it now, but you remember the like story of Facebook and how it all started? So I was in college at the time when the only way you could get on Facebook is you had to have a .edu email address, right? And I still remember, so my buddy tells me that he joined this thing called Facebook. I'm like, what the fuck kind of stupid name is that? Right? Like knowing nothing about what the world was going to turn into. And he goes, buddy, let me tell you, there's all these things on there called groups. I'm like, okay, I think I'm following, right? He goes, and it's crazy because they're full of women. And he goes, I can be part of some like, I like camel, let's say, and there's some bird in there that wants to add me as a friend. And I'm going, man, this is too much for my head to wrap around. I don't know what you're talking about, right? He goes, I actually screwed one of them last night. I'm like, okay, what's this thing all about? You know, tell me again. But anyway, I was part of the initial, or I shouldn't say I was part of, but I was living through the initial onset of Facebook and never did it then. And then all these years later, the wife talks me into doing Instagram. And it was, if it had not been for that, I mean, Brother Tom, I probably wouldn't be sitting here looking at you right now or sharing beers with you on the road and all this stuff. And I did it because it was her sales pitch. She goes, you don't have to post anything about yourself or how many shits you had today or any of that stuff. Just post what you're working on in the garage. I was like, okay, maybe, right? I can kind of warm up to this. And so stayed completely out of it as like the human meat suit. None of that. It was just car shit. And then, it kind of started to take off and, you know, you start to have fun with it and you meet buddies and they're commenting. It's almost like this little secret society that you're part of, right, kind of thing. And anyway, then she goes, hey, I got an idea. How about YouTube? I'm like, fuck that. No way. Not a chance in hell. Right. Anyway, here we are.
And here we are. Yeah.
Yeah. But man, it's funny how it all kind of works out. And then now with you, like you said, I guess going unprivate or whatever and kind of being part of all this. It's a weird thing for like folks that were raised in such a way. I mean, the way that you explained it, I was going, yeah, man, I was brought up the exact same way. And I had the same group of buddies that like nobody got too big for their britches or they were getting their knees knocked out real fast.
Yeah.
And social media has a way of going like, hey, look at me, right? Or it's got that persona going on. So I totally know where you're going with this, right? It's like, yeah, who wants to look at my shit, right? And God forbid if I ever did make it seem like somebody wanted to look at my shit, my buddy would come by, good buddy that I grew up with, and probably fucking knock my teeth out because nobody gets too big for their britches, right?
Yeah.
So I totally get it, man. Yeah.
No, it's interesting right now too, right? Just after the show, and Eric, our buddy Eric or Slow Fox 93, right? He was sharing the stuff, and then I was sharing with Tom and Dwayne. Then Gary, you had sent it, right? So there's this little clip of basically, I don't know who the last car is, but you could call it the Illinois boys pulling out of Ford's garage. And the last I looked, it's like 320,000.
It took off
views, right?
Yeah.
You know, so it's sort of viral within our little space and everything, right? And, you know, and then the comments, you know, always start coming in. And most of them have been good, right? And then, you know, you read some of the stuff and I already know, like, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I just, when you see certain ones, you're just like, what is wrong with people? Like, you know,
those are bait. Those are bait.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would never respond to any of them or deal with any of that stuff. Right. So yeah, there's that part here where it's like, oh, that's pretty cool that this has been shared and viewed by so many people. Right. But then there's also that part of me that you're just like, for what? Why? Who cares? You know, just can't understand it, you know, but yeah, it's cool. You know, and obviously Gary, you know, you're more used to it. You would put a post. I saw initially it was like 20,000 views as we were rolling up to there, and if I put a post out, I mean, again, private, 1,200 followers, if 50 people viewed it or liked it, I was like, pretty respectable for me. All right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And then
heavy
you get
hitter.
stuff. Yeah. And then you get stuff on this level. And then, you know, being with Tom this weekend at the show too, Gary, I walking anywhere with Tom, it's like he's running for mayor, right?
So
He's shaking
having a
hands,
Prada purse.
he's shaking hands, he's kissing babies. Everybody knows him. Everybody wants it. At some point, myself and Eric Dwayne, we were standing there like as if we were his security. A few times I thought of mess with people and like talking into my wrist. I was going to do the old, on the flank side there. Yeah, 10, 20,
I love
so
that Tom's like crawling out of his fucking skin right now because I would be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah. But I mean, it's super cool though. Like, listen, you guys, I will say this, and then it's the only compliments I'm going to give you. Okay. So,
Okay, good.
But I know I'm the same way. I'm the most self-deprecating person and don't deal with compliments well either. But look, you guys putting yourselves out there and creating, I mean, what an amazing world we live in right now where I don't have to just watch what's on channel 2, channel 5, channel 7, right? I can at any point go and watch Fox. I mean, I'm just going to call it Fox Body TV. Okay. Like that exists today. That is bananas, right? And
Totally.
without guys like yourselves doing that, putting out the content, spending your time, it doesn't exist, right? Somebody has to do it. Now, Tom doesn't do it as often, but when he does, it just, goes to the moon. Okay. So Tom, he just sits back and goes like, I do a couple a year. They're huge success. I'm good. Right. Meanwhile, Gary's over here like every day. I got to put crap out. Right. But no, it's super cool. And like, look, when I got the seats for my car, I'm someone who could figure stuff out, but Gary, you and Chris had both made videos about taking the factory tracks and getting the steel, welding it, making the brackets, right? So I'm like, listen, there's nothing new under the sun. I don't need to figure this out on my own. These guys already did it for me, right? Now I just need to watch it, apply my skills and do it. And I already know it's going to fit. It's going to do this. Like that didn't exist 20 years ago, right? It was, well, hopefully I had a buddy that did it, and I can talk to him. But, if you were the first one, now you had to know somebody in the neighborhood. Right now, it's like, I just need to know somebody in the world that has done this already. And I can get instruction from them or, learn from their mistakes and everything like that. So listen, I think for me, and I know for a lot of us, like super do appreciate though, what you guys do, and all the other creators and people that put stuff out there like that, because it does help the community overall. It helps all of us when we're working on projects and doing stuff or just the ideas. I know Tom's is more of, highlighting stuff and featuring stuff. And Gary, you get a lot more into the nuts and bolts and stuff on everything. Right. And it's like, that's awesome though. Like, it's super cool that, as I said, Fox Body TV exists.
Okay. Now you got to call me a dickhead or something because this is getting too weird.
Okay. No, that's it. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass, but
no, it's nice of you, buddy. I appreciate that.
It's super cool though. Like I said, it is, to me, it's super cool that you guys, that anybody, that people are doing that this exists. I told my daughter, 16, I said, what Dad's doing tonight, right? She's like, what? And I go, a podcast. And she is like, what? Who the hell wants to talk to you? And I said, well, you haven't met the guys yet. You'll understand. If I ever tell you where this podcast is going to live in the world, you'll understand why the old man was on it. Okay?
Right. Yeah, totally.
We're not going on the Joe Rogan experience here or anything. So
hey, we're getting close. We're getting close. We're about 14 million followers away, but yeah.
Well, this one's going to go off. I already know it. So
totally. Yeah. No, I mean, it's true, man. The little world that we live in's pretty slick these days. Cause the one part you left out that I know it was something we actually touched on this past weekend was back in the day, you could hope to hell that maybe you could find a little bit of intel in the forums, right? And that could lead you down a bit of a path, but that was old school. That was almost like the MapQuest days versus GPS days, right? Because now with YouTube, I mean, you kind of get, for folks that are handy and not afraid to get in there themselves, sometimes all you need is just that bird's eye view of what you're getting yourself into. And you can kind of see around corners, so to speak, before you get yourself up to your elbows in this mess of whatever you're going to do, right? And I find it super powerful just from that perspective, you know? But then, yeah,
100%.
there's folks brand new to the community that are going like, man, I didn't realize that, the driver's side switch on a Fox body is like 9 times out of 10 the reason your power windows don't work, right? Place an order on LMR, bing, bang, boom, you're gone. So yeah, it's pretty neat when you think about the world we're living in these days, especially with like old OBD1, fucking archaic stuff that we're farting around with,
Mhm.